Hey guys, I'm here today to talk about my autumn readathon TBR. So this is a readathon that I host that runs from the 20th to the 26th of October. I'm going to link the video I did recently up here and that has more details for you. So I am not one for creating like monthly TBRs. I used to do it and never was very good at sticking to them. So I tend to only really make TBRs for readathons or like for seasons, and those work okay for me. But what I will say before I show you these books is that these probably will not be the 6 I end up reading. In all honesty, I think I'll probably only manage about 4 because I work full time and life. So yeah, and I don't manage to listen to audiobooks or anything at work, so it's literally what I'll manage in the evenings and then at the weekend. I think my weekend is fairly free, but you know, you never know what's going to crop up. So I'd like to manage at least 4, but what I've done is I've chosen books that have a lot of overlap so that even if I only manage 4, I should still hit all 6 of the prompts. So either way, I'm going to have loads of fun doing it, and I'll say the same for you guys. This is a really flexible readathon, you can do what you want with it. You'll see that I've perhaps interpreted some of these prompts a bit differently to how you guys will, and that's fine. So yeah. Here are the 6 books. So I had lots of books to choose between for the historical fiction prompt because of a recent book haul I did featuring loads of recent historical fiction releases, but the one I decided to choose for the readathon is House of Glass by Suzanne Fletcher. So this is a new release that comes out in November, and the reason I chose this one, I think it sounds amazing, as I think all of them do, but this one is partly set during the summer, and so I didn't want to leave it too late into the colder months. At the moment it's been pretty warm, it still felt like summer. Today is cooler and it's grey and rainy, which I'm loving. But I thought if I read this one a bit earlier, then at least, you know, I won't read the whole book in like really cold weeks. So that is my plan. This one sounds really good. It's set in June 1914 and it's about a lady who's sent to Gloucestershire to fill a glass house, and there's some spooky stuff going on there. So this probably could also fulfill the gothic or spooky prompt as well as historical fiction. But yeah, I think this one sounds really great and I'm really looking forward to it. And I've never read this author's work, but I really like the sound of all of her other books, so if I enjoy this I will go back and read some of those. So then for the spooky / gothic prompt, I had lots of historical fiction books I could have picked, but I didn't know if I wanted to read 2 historical fiction books with spooky elements in the same week, so instead I chose a children's book, and this is A Skin Full of Shadows by Frances Hardinge. So I quite enjoyed The Library. I didn't love it as much as I hoped I would, but I do really like the sound of this one. So this is about a young girl called Makepeace Thackeray who has these sort of spooky spirits that live inside her. And it says, ravishing, creepy and tender, a skin full of shadows will steal inside you like a marauding ghost and haunt you in the best way. And I've really felt like reading children's books recently that are sort of on the cusp of children's and young adult and have that sort of traditional cosy feel, and I think this will probably tick all those boxes. So there's that one. Then for cold location, I decided to go for this little book. This is The Ice Palace by, and I apologise for this, Tage Vessus, and this is translated from the Norwegian by Elizabeth Rocken. So this is about a young 11-year-old girl who is with a friend, and then I think one of them goes missing. So I think our main character goes missing and her friend is trying to find her. And it says, Sis has struggled with her fidelity to the memory of her friend, the strange, terrifyingly beautiful frozen chambers of the waterfall, and Oon's fatal exploration of the Ice Palace are described in prose of a lyrical economy that ranks among the most memorable achievements of modern literature. Sounds pretty epic. So yeah, this could also fulfill the young girl protagonist prompt, and yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a pretty darn cold location because of the title. So there's that one, and I've had this for a while and really meant to get to it, so I hope I'll really enjoy this one. Then for a non-fiction book that feels autumnal, I decided to go for Icebreaker, A Voyage Far North by Horatio Clare. So this book came out in 2017 and the author was invited to Finland to write a book that celebrated their 100 years of independence. And so I think he spent 3 weeks on an icebreaker ship. And this is about those 3 weeks, and then also entwined within that is the history of Finland, and lots of bits and bobs. It says, explores Finland's history and character, surrounded by the extraordinary colours and conditions of a frozen sea. He also comes to extend something of the complexity and fragile beauty of ice. and I've read a couple of bits from this and it seems really beautiful, so I think this will fit in as it gets a little bit colder and darker reading this one. Then for the 2 bonus prompts, and these aren't autumn related, these are more just the type of books I really enjoy reading and love to hear more people talk about. So the young girl protagonist, I've decided to get, so this is an adult novel that features a young female protagonist. I decided to go for West by Karis Davies. Now I'm not sure if this is a bit of a cheat, because actually I think this is equally focused on a father and a daughter, but I've really wanted to read this for a while and I've heard loads of people rave about it, so I'm going to read it. And it's quite short, so works for a readathon. So this is set in, God, I don't know precisely when, but it's set in the time of the American frontier, like, you know, in Western focused time. God, that sounds awful. So this young girl, her father hears about some fossil bones, and he decides to travel west to find them, and he leaves her behind to be looked after by her aunt. So it's focusing on his journey west and her life when she's left behind. And yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it, so really intrigued by that one. And then for the final prompt, which is a short story collection, I decided to pick up The Birds by Daphne du Maurier. I've never read any of her short stories, and I know loads and loads of people really enjoy her short stories, and Lauren has raved about this one so many times, so I should have picked it up sooner. And this could also fulfil the spooky or gothic, because I believe all of these stories are somewhat spooky, so I really hope I love these. I'm so looking forward to them. So yeah, that is my final book. So these are all 6, so I'd say sort of 4 of them are fairly short, but then these 2 are that bit longer, so I'm unsure if I'll manage all 6, as I said, but I'd like to think that I can choose the books wisely enough that I fulfil all 6 prompts nonetheless. Like I said, I'm not great at TBRs, and this entirely depends on the fact that perhaps in the next week I'll want to read one of these sooner rather than later, and I'll pick it up, and then I have to choose something else to read during the week, or perhaps I'll get to that week and just not feel like reading one of these and want to read something else. But this is what I think I'm most likely to end up reading, so those are the 6 I've chosen. Do let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them, and also let me know if you are joining in with the readathon. If you have done a video, let me know down below, or if you have a blog or anything like that, I'd be really interested. And if not, just write in the comment what you're planning on reading, because I think this is a great way for everyone to get recommendations. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!